Hi, welcome to Library 101. We're going to take a quick tour of the Library 101 classroom. Okay, so when you first come into the course, you're going to see all the modules listed here together. So you can see everything that's going to be coming up throughout the course. If you've got to this video, congratulations, yay, you made it through, you got to the Start Here module, getting started. There's also some computer help and netiquette here, kind of being polite on the internet. Then there's this quiz called Know Your Class in the Start Here module. It's just short, 5 questions, but you need to pass that before you can move forward to any other part of the course. You have to complete that Know Your Class. Just making sure that you've kind of taken a look at some of the information, you've listened to this video, and you've looked around a little bit in the course and make sure you know what's going on. Once you get through that, then you move on to the first week, week 1, basic sources. Now it says right here, prerequisite, start here. That means you have to complete the start here and pass that quiz before week 1 will open. Now every week you're going to see that as you scroll down, there's a prerequisite telling you what you have to complete before you start that. In this, week 2, you have to complete week 1, etc. And by completing that, that's completing that unlock quiz. It's labeled each time. There's also an unlock date you'll see down here at the bottom, and each week is locked in 2 ways. One, it has the prerequisite. You have to complete the previous module. Also, there's a date so that as you go through the course, you're going week by week. So you can't just complete everything all at one time. You have to come through as the weeks go by. So again, locked 2 ways. So if you've completed the prerequisite, but the date hasn't come up yet, you can't get into the next week. If the date has passed, but you haven't completed the prerequisite, you also can't get into it. So you have to do both things to get that. And you can see the little padlock here. That is locked. So if you look at that. Once you get through the Start Here, Know Your Class, the weeks are arranged pretty much in the same way throughout the course. You're going to have a discussion. That's your participation points. One, if you look at the syllabus, what are you being graded on? Participation is one of those. The discussion is going to be those participation points, so taking part in the discussion. Lecture and content. This is your lecture. When you click on that, it's going to take you to the lecture page for that week. It's going to show you the lecture video. It's posted on YouTube. You can go and open it that way. Also, if there's any chapters to read, any other additional reading or information there, and then some helpful modules from our IRIS tutorial, the library's IRIS tutorial, which stands for Information Research and Instruction Suite. And you'll have some appropriate IRIS modules to take a look at too. So this is all your lecture and content that you need to do. So there's also practice activities, again, going back to what you're being graded on. This is going to be your activities points. It's usually worth about a point. So it's some sort of practice based on what we're working on that week, what we've been talking about. If you have any questions, or you need more help, you're having some confusion on something, you might check the additional resources. That is more help on some things. Maybe some extra handouts, another reading that might clear some stuff up. Take a look there. And then of course the unlock for the next week. Now as you get a little bit further down, you'll see there's also throws in when your homework assignments start coming in. So again, what items, if you've looked at the syllabus, which I hope you have, it's right here on your left, syllabus, things you're being graded on, participation points, those are your discussions, activities points, that's your practice activities, homeworks, which you start coming up, and then all the way down at the very bottom, last thing, final exam. So those are your 4 areas that you are being graded on in this course. I mentioned the syllabus. You can access that on the left-hand links here. We've got home, which is where we're at. Announcements. When you come into the course, take a look at the announcements and see if there's anything that I've put out there, any new information or any announcement that I've made about what's going on. Good reminders there. The syllabus, that's the layout of the course. When's everything due? What's coming up? What are you being graded on? What are the requirements of the course? That syllabus is where you want to go. Grades. You can go into the grades, see how your grades are doing. This will also show you layout when everything is due coming up. Now, one thing to remember in the grades, it's kind of interesting. This is a Canvas thing. If you submit something and I haven't graded it yet, it's not going to show that that you've completed it, in the sense that it'll add it into your overall score, the possible points, but it won't add in your graded points yet. So your grade may fluctuate a little bit if you've turned something in, but I haven't graded it yet. So don't worry. And if you are doing any practice activities or homeworks, there's typically some items that I manually grade, so some of the stuff might be automatically graded, like say a multiple choice. But if there's anything where maybe I need to review it, you won't get the grade on that yet, and I have to go in and put those in manually. So your grade, maybe if there's, 5 points possible, you might only get 3, and there's 2 other things that the computer just doesn't know if they're right or not. So your grades are going to vary a little bit until I've manually graded stuff. And I try and keep right on those as best I can so they get done pretty quickly. So you can always contact me with questions. And then of course there's a link to the library's webpage, because we're going to need to know where that is. All right, so this is kind of the overall layout of the modules. Now, another important thing that you need to take a look at is here on the left. We are in the courses. The calendar, you can go look at the course calendar. That lays out when everything's due in calendar form. It'll show when the due dates are. The inbox, that's your, if people are sending you messages, if I send you a message about something, that's where you're going to get those. If you want to send me a message through Canvas, that's how you're going to contact, that's your inbox. And then account, this is a really important one. When you click on this, you want to go 2 things here, settings and notifications. Those are the 2 places that you're really going to want to take a look. Take a look at those 2 things, because those are going to be important. If you go to settings, you will see your information here. You can change how your name is displayed and those types of things. On the right, ways to contact you. This is really super important. I've got email address on here, but you can add multiple email addresses if you'd like to do that. You can also add your cell number, so you can get text messages pushed out to you that way. So you want to add any ways to contact you here on the right. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see some other services that you can use. If you have a Google Drive account, Skype, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Delicious, you can link your Canvas to any of those services. If you want, you can have all your class notifications sent to your Twitter account, for example. If that's kind of where you're hanging out and living, you can have stuff sent that way. If you link to Google Drive, then you can upload documents from Google Drive into Canvas, things like that. So you have a little bit of options here. So these are other services that you can link to from Canvas. Now, again, the other thing, once you've got some settings set up, you've put in some email addresses, put in your phone number, whatever you want to do, then you go over to notifications. And this is where you tell it how to contact you and how often. So for every single one of these possible things, you can pick multiple choices, how often and to which address. So if I wanted to all my email addresses and my cell phone due dates sent, you can choose right away, ASAP, a daily summary, a weekly summary, or not at all. So you can make your choices, and you could have it sent to all of them, you could have it sent to none of them, whatever you want to do. I'd like everyone to send announcements to ASAP, so that when I post an announcement, you'll get notified of that, so that would be really great. But that's, you can kind of customize these. If you want to see discussion posts when people post to a discussion that you're in, you can get that notification. This is a good one, conversations. That's your inbox, your conversation. If you get a message, you should get notified of that. So if someone, myself or another student, sends you a conversation message, something in your inbox there, you want to get notified of that right away too, so you know that you're getting messages from people. And then you can pick from your different services, which email address, what phone number, etc. Well, how do you want to get notified of that? So it's really important to get your notification preferences customized in a way that you will get the information you need as soon as you need it. So that's pretty much a tour of the course, things that you're going to need to know and things that you're going to need to find. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks.